Question 6, we're going to be looking at the sine rule for the first time. Now the sine rule looks at a relationship of pairing between the angles and the sides. So A is related to A, angle A, side A. We normally write side A in small letters and the angle in capital, and B related to little b. So we're looking at pairings. So when we look at this for the first problem, 3.7, x 34, 41 degrees, immediately that pairing relationship shows us that we're looking at the sine rule. So if I write out the sine rule, in this problem we'll make xa, or ax I suppose, divided by sine of 34, and that's equal to 3.7 divided by the sine of 41. Now when it comes to doing this on your calculator, some people like to transpose already. So x is equal to 3.7 times sine of 34 divided by the sine of 41. We can carry out that calculation on our calculator as follows. I tend to do them in two parts because we find when we're using sine and cosine, we're quite often coming into contact with brackets. So I get 2.069 and if I divide that by the sine of 41, I get 3.15 centimeters in this problem. Moving on to 6D, you'll find that we're missing a pairing. We've got the pairing between 2.75 and 71, but x doesn't seem to have a pairing yet. So what I've now got to do, I've got to quickly find out what that angle will be. I'll call it B. So B is 180 less 71 plus 58. So I've got to do this before I start. So that will give me 51 degrees. Now please don't fall in the mistake of using the 58 because we know nothing about this side length here. So when I set this up, it's x divided by the sine of 51, and that's 2.75 divided by the sine of 71. Bring that over. All I'm doing is division. The inverse of division is multiplication. Do the numerator first. And then divide that by the sine of 71. So I get 2.26 centimeters as my answer. In part I, you're looking at finding a missing angle. Now please note when we're working these problems, the sine rule deals with pairings. In this case, when I write out the sine rule, I'll write it in the following version. So sine of A divided by A is equal to sine of B over B. I can then carry out the problem as such. So the sine of theta divided by 2.4 is equal to the sine of 120 divided by 5.8. Well, the sine of theta is equal to 2.4 times the sine of 120 divided by 5.8. Now once again, do this on your calculator, but make sure that you carry out the numerator calculation first, calculation on top if you like. Now you'd expect a number. You must always get a number between 0 and 1. So I use the sine to the minus 1 function. Shift sign. And that gives me 20.99 degrees, which is very, very close indeed to 21 degrees.